Hey guys, it's been a while. Don't worry, I didn't stop playing the game and I didn't stop making video on YouTube. I was just waiting for the new update, but yeah, the new update is taking a little bit longer than I expected, so there was no new video about the game. I actually saw a comment on Discord recently about someone asking for a tier list for slime. I never thought about that. I don't know if it's useful, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting idea to kill some time and while I'm waiting for the new update for some news. And so yeah, that's why I'm making this video. I only put the yellow and red slime. I don't think it's necessary to put a video like to do a tier list for like purple slime. And I think I discussed this in a previous video, but the logic that I use for when I want to capture a slime is that I only spend my food on red slime. Very, very rarely I spend food for the yellow one. You're gonna see which one in this video, obviously. And the other rarity, if I can capture them with the prize and the other action, then I get them. If I don't want to waste food, not even one bread to capture them. It's not useful in my opinion, especially for free to play, since it's a very limited resources. So that's the logic that I use when it comes to slime and to capture them. So as usual, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment if you want, and we get into it. So first of all, I want to start with C tier. As you can read here, I wrote not implemented yet. So maybe you didn't know, maybe you already knew. I'm about to ruin your day if you didn't. Everything that is related to elemental damage and resistance to element is not implemented yet in the game. So it's there, like the text is there in the game, as you can read in a lot of this pet, but it actually doesn't do anything because I didn't implement it yet. So every pet that is related to elemental resistance or elemental damage is going to go in this tier, which is actually a lot of them. I think I got everybody. I hopefully didn't make any mistake. If I did, let me know. But that should be everybody that is actually not working. Now, of course, they have a primary stat. It's usually HP or attack, but it's like a numerical value. It's not a percentage. So it's so small that you can just ignore it. It's like it's insignificant. It's not important for the game. It's not gonna change anything. Having like 300 HP or 300 extra attack is not useful. So that's why they all go into C tier. Hopefully in the future they're gonna implement it. I mean, quite obviously, I think they will implement it because otherwise there would be no meaning for them to make this slime. But yeah, if I was you, unless you're collecting all the pet because you want to collect them like I do, I don't think it's a good idea to spend your food, especially again if you're free to play. Don't really spend your food for this kind of pet because right now they're useless. I'm making this video. What is today? 3 September 2024. As of today, there is nothing implemented about this pet yet. So they're just there. They exist, but they're not useful. So now we actually started the real tier list, and I will explain while I go on like the logic behind the assignation of the tier for me. And I want to start with the yellow pet. So let's start with the pirate slime. I think this one is B tier. Now it's very very good slime. It's you can put it into any hero you want. I would say it's better for hero that deals damage, so mage or assassin, or if you use some warriors damage dealer, you can also put it on your warrior. And the reason why I put into B tier is because compared to other yellow pet, it's more difficult to rank him up. I think I'm just going by memory, so I could be wrong, but the first level, first 2 star for the yellow pet is 2 of them. I think no, 3 of them maybe. And then when you reach 2 star, they start to ask you for 5 of them to level up, which is very difficult, especially like unless you have crazy amount of food to waste, you're not really gonna use it to capture many yellow pets. Usually when you have one copy, it's most people stop trying to capture them. So for this reason, because it's difficult to level him up, to start him up, whatever you want to say or call it, I put him into B tier. When it comes to the stat that he gives and the attribute, I think it could easily be A tier, but because of the reason I just explained, because of its difficulty in ranking him up, it's going to be B tier for me. Onimusha slime is very very good, more defensive as you can guess from its attribute, and this one goes into A tier because it's a pet that you can get from the Divine Tournament shop. Now, do I advise you to get it from the Divine Tournament shop? No, not really. I prefer to spend my points in what's called in the red equipment box. But in case you want to actually level up this pet one day, you can do it fairly easy, at least compared to others, because you can get this copy with another mechanic that is not RNG, like the mine, but you can actually get it from the shop. So this is the logic that I'm going to use for the yellow pet. It's they're not divided by the attribute, because if I only have to check the attribute, all the like yellow pet that are still here are going to be A tier, but I'm going to divide them by how easy, how hard is going to be to rank them up. So because of that logic, Diviner Slime also goes into A tier. So Onimusha, as I mentioned, is more defensive, so I would go on character that you want them to survive longer, which is usually your priest. I don't think it's a good idea to put it on assassin. You can put it in some mage that maybe is like a CC or like not something that you use as your primary damage dealer, but of course up to you. Diviner, on the other end, is a character that is a slime that I would put on, that I actually have on Evelyn for me, because I want to use his rage bonus to make sure that the heroes kill as fast as possible. Now, the good one, which is astrologer, I put it on the damage dealer, which in most cases is Sophia. And so the cheap version, which is Diviner, I put it on Evelyn in my case, because I want Evelyn to do her skill as fast as possible, because it's a very good stun. And at tier 3, it's basically one of them is going to be 100%, so obviously you want to do it as soon as possible. I'm not going to go into details, because even if it's 100%, in a lot of situations boss have control resistance, so they don't actually, it doesn't actually proc with 100%, but still is a very good CC, and I would advise to use this slime into any CC character, or into any character that really you just want him to use the skill as soon as possible, and you don't have astrologer available. Of course, if you just started the game and you don't have astrologer, you can put diviner also on Sophia. That's also planned, like a good idea. And then when you find astrologer, you can swap and put astrologer on Sophia and give diviner to someone else. Now, also I forgot to say, diviner I put it into A tier because it's a pet that you can get from the, how you call it? The shard event. Like that event you have in rotation, and sometimes it's flower, sometimes it's beer, but it's just that currency that you accumulate when you're AFK, and you can just exchange it for diviner. Now, after you make it 2-star, I don't think it's that good of an idea to keep exchanging the currency for diviner. I actually go for universal shard and crystal, but of course, if you want to keep leveling up diviner, it's going to take a long time, but you can still do it, and you can still reach the max amount of star for this pet, so that's why it's A tier. Priest Slime, again, same logic as before. This one is not provided into any mode of the game, so for this reason I still put it into B tier. The effect is nice. It improves, no, how can I say in English? It enhances the healing effect, I forgot the word. And basically we know that these work because there are also skills from heroes that have the same effect and they work. So unlike the elemental damage heroes, we know that this pet do something, like his ability works. So yeah, B tier. Lexar Slime, I would put into B tier. Now, it's kind of easier to get this slime compared to the other two in B tier because it's the first, it's the only actually, I think. It's the only pet that you get when you spend real money in the game. I think it was a long time ago for me, but I think it was like after 3 days they give you this pet as a reward for spending money. You don't have to spend money for 3 days in a row, if I remember correctly, to get it. You just spend it one time, and then after, when it's the 3rd day from the day you spent money, they're gonna give you this pet. I don't know if they change it now for new player, because as you can guess, it's been a long time for me, but that's how it worked back in my days, and makes me feel very old. And so yeah, this is, even if you get one copy, it's only one copy. You don't have like a way to regularly get this pet from any other mode or event, so it still goes into B tier. Again, this is offensive slime, so you can use it for your damage dealer hero. It's obviously a good one, and that's it. I would not use it on a priest because why would you do that? And so let's move on. Denser slime. This one technically also goes into A tier. The thing is, you can get this slime from the same event as diviner. I don't know if you prefer to get this one from diviner. I would say diviner is a better option, but maybe after you have one copy on diviner, you also want one for denser slime, and you can get it from the event. And also, again, if you technically want to max his rank, you can from the event. It's gonna take forever, but yeah, it's possible as a free-to-play. That's nice. So A tier for this reason. Again, this one, if I remember correctly, is HP and speed as a bonus. So it's very, like, you can put it on any hero that you want. Every hero is gonna benefit from having more HP and more speed. I would go for priest, but if you do it on an assassin or you do it on a mage, why not? I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Then we move to Viking Slime. Viking Slime also A tier because you can get it from 2nd and 3rd place in the standard arena. It's probably between all the yellow pets, this one is the easiest one to max. It's still gonna take forever because the amount of copy that the game asks you to max them is quite too much, in my opinion. It's a lot, but technically it's one of those pets that you can max his star without having to spend real money, so that's great, and it's gonna be A tier. As the others, this one is also an offensive pet, as you can guess from his attribute, so I put it on a damage dealer in my team. I think right now it's on my Dahlia, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, it's a very good offensive pet. Probably my favorite, I would say, arguably the best one because of how faster compared to the other you can level him up. It's probably the best one in the yellow tier of pet. Then we have the last one, Master Slime. This one is also a very good one. It's defensive, so I actually use it on my priest. It's basically a pet that you just give it to a character when you want to make him survive longer, just like Onimusha. And because you cannot get it from any other mod right now, it's gonna be in B tier. Now let's start finally with the red one. I would say Frost is definitely S tier. So in my opinion, the slime, oh my god, I keep calling them like different name in this video, very nice. The slime that you want to max first are Astrologer, Reaper, and then if I have to choose one, I would go for Frost. Of course, you could argue that you can do Frost before Reaper, but the thing is, it's two different ways to rank them up, and ideally, it's gonna be easier to finish Reaper first, in my opinion. So yeah, anyway, this one is still gonna be S tier. It's very good attribute, if I remember correctly, is attack and skill damage, which is obviously perfect for any DPS hero that you have. And plus his skill is very useful. I think between all the new pet, his skill is the most useful one. So it's S tier in my opinion. Even if the only way that you have to rank him up is basically being lucky with the mines or spending real money and get him with the mystery coin. I actually still don't have this pet, but yeah, hopefully one day I'm gonna find him. Then we have Lord Slime. I would say Lord Slime is a high A tier. Like, it's a defensive pet. So for me, the defensive is not a priority. There is gonna be like an exception, but I use it on my priest because obviously is a slime that you want to put on a hero that you want to make sure he survives as long as possible. But in PvE especially, it's surviving is a big word. Like most of the hero get one shot by everything, and the only way to survive is solo. So even if you give it like this line to a character that you want to survive, it's very likely that it's gonna survive because of that and not because of solo. Is impossible? No, of course. It's a small kick in the ass. It's a little bit of help, but still, I don't think it's a game changer like it could be from Slime in other situation. Jester, I also think, is A tier. Same reason as Lord Slime. So Jester is very interesting because he provides a huge amount of speed. It's 30 speed. The reason why it's A tier for me, it's because if I had to choose between Frost Slime and Jester, I would go for Frost Slime. I think Jester is a little bit less useful compared to Frost, and this is why I'm putting him into A tier, but still very good. I think mine is 1 star now, and I'm using it on a CC hero, so it's a hero that I want to make sure is as fast as possible so that she can use the skill and provide good value for the team when I use her. So definitely A tier. Then we have a small exception from what I said before. I put also Apothecary into S tier, and the reason is, so if you ask me some time ago when I saw the stat and the effect the first time, I would tell you it was A tier. Now for me it's S tier because I lost more than once in Divine Tournament because people give this pet to plus 30 Lilian, and the plus 30 Lilian win 1 against 2 or 3 hero. And the reason why she wins is that she has so much with this pet that she keeps getting full health, the match keeps going, and then the spirit kill my team instead of Lilian. And so it's like I lost so many matches, and also I got this slime and I put it on my Lilian and I noticed improvement in Divine Tournament that I decided to put him into S tier. I think this one on Lilian is ridiculous. It's like it's a very good combo. You should try. And in my experience, it was very useful in Divine Tournament. As again, in PvE, healing eventually becomes something secondary because people get one shot by everything. But still, I think it's worth to put it into S tier. And now we have the two old pet. So if you're new, maybe you don't know, but before it used to be only these two pet as Red Slime, and it's Reaper and Astrologer. Obviously, Astrologer is gonna be the highest priority S tier. Is the strongest pet in the game, in my opinion, and I don't think I have to explain to you. It's also your first priority to max his star because obviously when Astrologer is maxed, it provides 100 rage. 100 rage, it means that your hero skill on turn 1. So imagine you put it on Sophia, on a plus 30 Sophia, you go into any PvP mode, you start the match, your Sophia do a triple kill because she one-shot the enemy. So solo cannot prevent the one-shot because, again, the hero need to be less than 30% HP to get the buff from solo. So if they get one shot, solo cannot save them. And with plus 30 Sophia, you attack 3 people with 1 skill. It's super strong. And it's also very strong on other heroes. It's not like you only want to use it on Sophia. If you make a plus 30 Peerless, this is going to be terrible opponent to have a plus 30 Peerless with Maxed Astrologer. She's going to start the match one-shot someone with a skill, and then because of her talent, she's gonna be able to skill again for the rest of the match. Every turn she's gonna be able to skill. It's super strong pet, especially for PvP. So I think it's the best one in the game. Of course, also the attributes are good and useful, so definitely the most important S tier in this list. And then Reaper is also going to be S tier, and it's going to be the second highest priority, in my opinion, after Astrologer. Now, it's a little bit tricky to max out Reaper because other than so this pet you cannot even buy from the mystery shop. So even if you're spending real money, you cannot take it from the mystery shop. At least for now, it's not in the shop. And of course, you can be lucky and find it in the mine, but the only real like consistent way to get this pet is to be constantly rank 1 in the arena. Obviously, there is only one rank 1 in every server, so it's quite difficult to get it. But if you can max him, he's gonna be very, very strong for PvE especially, because his skill is perfect to fight big boss monster like dungeon, Xeno, whatever. Obviously, it's also super useful against boss into normal mode like stage push or endless tower. And they also provide critical rate, which obviously I don't think I have to tell you, but it's one of the best attributes that you can have into any damage dealer. It's especially super good on Flora. If you have critical hit with the skill of Flora and she's buffed properly, she can one-shot enemies on stage push, and it's also very high damage for pretty much everything else, from Xeno to Kill Boss to Endless Tower. It's just super strong and super good. So if you're rank 1 in your server, try to stay rank 1 as much as possible until you max Reaper. It's gonna be 100% worth it. Super strong pet. Unfortunately, I'm rank 2 in my server. I only managed to steal it once, and so my Reaper is like what, 2-star, I think. So it's gonna take a long time before I can max mine, but definitely you want to max it if possible, because it's very good. That's it for the video. It's actually longer than expected because I always talk too much. I hope it was useful. If you have any question, like something is not clear as usual, feel free to ask. Hopefully I can provide you a video about the new update soon. I cannot wait for the new update because it's been a while. If you didn't see today, actually they posted on Facebook and on Discord a poll about housing system. And so yeah, if you want to leave your opinion, also remember to vote in the poll there. It's on Facebook or Discord, and on Discord they're also asking for your ideas. So yeah, I think that's cool and it's interesting. So if you want to give a little bit of contribution to the game, you can do it there. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching until the end. Have a good day. See you in the next one. Bye bye.